What's poppin', air gunners? This is Denny, the flat broke air gunner, and today we're going to start a video, and it's going to be on the Winchester 1100S and the camouflaging that we're going to do to it. Daniel Fulmer did a video on our channel live of the way that he did it with sea sponge and a little plate. Well, I'm going to follow his business method, but I'm going to do it my style. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I think he used 3 colors. I'm using 5. And I got a big old chunk of sea sponge that I've already shaped and torn holes in and got different types of patterning all around the same piece. So I'm going to take the painter's tape and go inside the checkering and mask that off so that that stays fully black there and in the grip. And everything, oh, and the back area too. I'm going to cover that so that will stay black. But everything else is going to be camoed. I decided to do this because, first off, both the sights don't have any type of fiber optic. They're just white paint on there, and that's to keep the cost of the rifle low. We got it at a super good deal at this Walmart gun clearance deal. So this is the beginning of the video for the camo job. So hope you like it, and let me get to work. Alright, we're going to take the blue painter's tape and tear it off oversized so we know we have more than what we need because we're going to be trimming it off. Just lay it straight to the side of the gun, and as you apply pressure, you can see the pattern forming under the tape. So, take your thumbnail, walk around the edge like that, and that gives you your line to cut with the X-Acto knife when we remove the excess tape. So we have it all like that. And you trust the X-Acto knife, you just run it right down the little crease we just made. You don't have to push very hard because really all you're trying to do is get through the tape. You don't want to scar up your stock or anything like that. Everything's going to be pretty much covered with paint that's on the edge of this cut line. So really just be careful. You don't want to hurt yourself. See how slick that works? Zip. Pull it off. Now I'm going to do the buttstock section, that like that. Again, tear off a little more than what you need because you don't want to end up getting stuck with not enough. And since it's curved, I usually tear it on 2 different sections, here and here. That way the tape will all lay smoothly and won't have any, the twists of the rifle won't make a big difference in how the tape lays. And just like the first thing, you take your thumbnail, run it around the edge or your index fingernail, whatever. There's a fingernail. Run it around the pattern in through the little V section. Make sure everything's stuck down, which you could do this at any point. It's not, you know, critical for the first section, but before you start applying paint, you really want to rub this and heat it up with your finger so that you're sure all the glue is adhering. Just run it down again. Same, like I said, just like the other one. All you got to do is follow the indentation in the blue painter's tape, and you should be just fine. It's not real tricky or anything like that. Again, be careful so you don't cut yourself or really go too hard and damage the stock in any real way. Zip and zip. That's simple. And through the modern magic of video wizardry, the other side, bang, has already been done. So now we get to painting. So let me get all the stuff together, and next time you see me, we'll be throwing down the base coat which is going to be the tan. So going with tan first, and then I'm probably going to follow up with all the different colors, but they'll be sponged. The tan is just the first base coat that's going to go all over everything. So there you go. All right, we're going to start with the steel wool. You start at the front of the gun, and not very complex. I usually pull away from any of the stickering so that you don't tear it up while you're doing it. You just want to get a basic rough job to have the first coat, gives it something to grab a hold of. Again, just work away from the sticker, and then you don't really have to worry about pulling them up. The other side has already been done and photographed while we did it, so that will be part of the video. It's real basic, common sense kind of stuff. You're just steel wooling it, roughing it up, and getting it ready for the first coat of paint. So we're gonna finish this part up and jump into some paint. So see you here in a minute. All right, first thing you do, the steel wool's all done, so you wipe it down with a dry cloth to make sure there's no leftover steel wool residue anywhere. As you can see, I'm keeping my trigger and the trigger housing black, and I've already pretty much gone over the gun, made sure everything's on the up and up. Paint has been shaken, so now real quick, light coats. I decided instead of taping off the buttstock, I was just going to remove it. You see how quickly the coverage happens. You don't have to go real heavy on the trigger. And that is going to do it right there for now. We will let this dry, flip it over, and hit another coat over there, and we will be ready for the sponging. Again, you can't really mess this up. The most important part of all of this really is just have fun customizing your gun. And it's really not that hard of a process to do. You should have fun while you're doing it. See you here in a minute. All right, this is how Daniel did it. He got the dark brown. He loaded up a bowl and then did the dabbing out of the bowl. I'm not going to film me reloading the cup or the bowl again and again and again and again. I'm only going to show you this one time, and then I'm just going to be at the table and be working from the bowl. I'm not going to continue to keep coming back to this part. So here we go, and I will see you back at the table. And here we are at the table. Got the sponge all ready and the paint. So dab a little paint onto the sponge. And start doing the stippling. I'm using a bunch of different colors, so I'm not really getting too carried away with any one individual color. There's going to be a lot more going on, so I'm going to tend to jump around. All over the place. Try to, like I've said before, just have fun with it. There's no, as you can see, there's no real set plan. There's no stress. Just dab it on, have fun with it, slap it around. And this looks like this is almost one whole side of the gun done with the brown. You could always go back in and add more if you are unhappy with the results you're getting. You could add more tan and cover up what you've done. You could go back in and add any color, the black, anything. I'm trying to probably overdo stuff and get a little too perfectionist because that's just who I am. I should tone it back on that. But yeah, so there you go. That's basically the first section of real color. And we're going to let this dry and come back and do the other side. I'm going to go through each color as on each side. I'm going to let it dry and then come back and go like that. So I'll see you here in a little bit with more painting fun. Alright, now as you can see, we're going in with the brighter color green. Get a bunch of stuff stamped out. I don't want to go real heavy with the green because we still have some more colors that are gonna be blended with. I'm going with still white, black, but you can slowly see it filling in little by little. And that's basically all there is to it, is taking your time, dabbing just a little at a time. Make sure you don't put too much pressure on yourself. You have fun doing it, and it'll turn out neat. And you'll have a good time doing it. That's almost more important than anything else. Just like anything involved with air gunning, you want to have fun. It's supposed to be to take your mind off of stuff, not to cause you headaches and hassles. That's kind of one of the reasons why I think I'm more of a brake barrel fan and not so much of a PCP fan, because there's a big learning curve with PCPs in my opinion, and I don't think I'm there yet. So just tap, 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 dab, dab, dab. This paint is seeming to dry relatively quick, so we'll go like that. Once this dries, we'll be back to do the other side with the same color, and then we'll move on to the black and then the white and maybe a clear coat, and we'll call it a day. Alright, we're rounding the final curve towards the end. Now we got the black to go. And again, the same procedure as before. Whoa. Just dab and get some coverage. I want to try to go a little easy with the black so that the other colors are still very apparent. And just like all the other colors, it is just that simple to get it done. Alright, once again, we're gonna let this dry, and I will see you here in a minute for more. And here we go with the last final steps. I'm adding some white just to make everything kind of pop a little. especially through the black areas, because I just didn't want it to be solid black. So, ooh, oh man. Uh-oh. It's starting to mix with the green that was inside the sponge.
Looks pretty.
So, a happy little mistake. Now we got a mint greeny looking color. Come back here. Like I said, you really can't go wrong with this method because it's supposed to just break up the outline of the gun. So, and I'm having fun with it. That's the main thing. So, alright, we'll get this to dry and then flip it to the other side and it'll be done. And this will be a wrap for this little video. See you in a minute. Well, there she is in all her glory, air gunners. That is the Winchester 1100S, custom camouflaged by yours truly, Denny, the Flat Broke Air Gunner. And now you guys know how to do it too, if you're interested in doing something along these lines. And you're only limited by your own imagination. You could add leaves and all different stuff if you wanted to take it way over the top. I'm going to do another airgun camouflage video, not along the sponging, but along this gun right here style, and we're going to change the camo up, and instead of being earthy tones, it's going to be whites and blues and grays, and that's for a future video. But this is it. This is done. This is it with the painter's tape removed. You can see I left a little piece of tape over the sight so you can still see the front and rear sight very cleanly. And the safety is still visible and everything. This buttstock is replaced. So there it is. The most time-consuming thing involving this is the drying time. As you saw, it was real quick applying the colors, and you can run right through it in a day easy. I really want to thank you for watching. Not only does your viewership, but your friendship means a lot to me. Always be a straight shooter. Always wear your shooting glasses when you're shooting, even if it's just spray paint. You can get some paint in your eye, people. That ain't comfortable stuff. Have a great night or a great day, wherever it is where you live. Thanks again for tuning in. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.